To pick up 2 strips of bacon and stuff them entirely in your mouth. Dude, if you put 2 cooked strips of bacon in your mouth, that'd be a lot to chew. The balls on this kid.
We ain't going nowhere, 'cause we're locked up. We can't be stopped now. Well, we're stopped
Diddy's locked up.
for life. Hello and welcome to Whipped Cream Salmon. My name is Brian Masanza. His name is Ronnie Sanchez. This is the podcast where we talk all things food, friends, and fuckery. We have some very special fuckery planned for today. We may have a topic. We may have some idiot sandwiches. We may have some hot tips for y'all.
Yeah, we got to stop maybe giving clues as to, or like mentioning what we're going to talk about, because this is the third time that we've planned to talk about this subject and we haven't.
Yeah, we just get so caught up talking about cooking food for people, you know?
We get lost in the fuckery is what happens.
Lost in the fuckery. Sometimes something shiny catches our eye and then
It's a woozy, it's a whatsy.
it's
Fairy dust.
woozy, it's a woozy. Exactly. But how was your week, Ronnie? What's going on?
Dude, it was good. It was really good. First of all, birthday boy. How was your birthday?
I did get a year older. Starting to get to the point where, I mean, they're still fun, but like, let's stop adding years on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like being celebrated. That's a good time. I had a fun weekend. Friday, we played some pickup volleyball. We then went out to a bass music show. We saw Ivy Lab and took a little bit of those magic mushroom chocolates, you know, and dance, and that was a really fun time. Met some really cool people. Actually, that was fun.
Getting loose.
Yeah, I kept it a little loose. Saturday, slept in just a tad, but then we had some people over Saturday night and cooked some food. I'll talk about that in a second.
Nice.
And then and Sunday was kind of a chill day. Watched some football. Went on a little hike. I'm not even sure that you would classify it as a hike. And then yesterday was kind of a regular-ish day, but I got some new toys that I'm excited to talk about as well.
Love new toys.
Yeah, new toys are fun. Yeah, it was a great weekend for sure.
Beautiful.
And I feel blessed, don't I?
Is this
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say to the audience that I'm wearing a new shirt.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask if that was your birthday shirt.
It is a birthday shirt. It's not a birthday suit, but it's a birthday shirt.
It's incredible.
Shout out Tanya Guidi. I'm wearing a Ratatouille shirt. So for the audio listeners, which all of you are, it's got a bunch of vegetables. It's got our friend, what's his name, dude?
Remy.
He's slanging some food. It looks like he's got a little saute pan. He's rocking some stuff. I see his plate of ratatouille somewhere. I can't find it while I'm looking at the video, but it's somewhere. And I'm really stoked on the shirt. White shirts, a little risky for your boy. I'll be honest, because
Yeah.
you get a little saucy, and then the sauce ruins your shirt. However,
it does have a lot of pattern on there, though. So and if you got a little marinara on the shirt, hey, it's a ratatouille shirt. Blend right in. It's part of the shirt. Hey.
So I'm stoked about that. I got a bunch of fun whipped cream salmon stuff.
Really?
Not whipped cream salmon stuff, but food stuff.
We got merch?
Food stuff to talk about.
Okay.
We were talking on the pod about how I didn't have a lot of commercial kitchen gear, and now I have a bunch of commercial kitchen gear, which is amazing.
That's what's up.
My sister got me, and actually I opened them before my birthday because it was from Amazon. So of course I opened it. She got me 4 half hotel pans. You saw them. They're great.
Yep.
They're awesome.
Great gift.
My mom got me 2 4-quart containers and 2 8-quart containers.
Wow. Like Cambros?
Really nice. Cambros, yeah.
Nice.
And actually, we are exchanging them. I told my mom, like, I don't know how much use I get out of an 8-quart. So I'm replacing the 2 8-quarts with 2 2-quart containers.
Okay.
You know, the little halfers.
That's good.
The 2s and the 4s. I mean, the 8s are great. It's just like, how often do I have 8 quarts worth of stuff? And like, even if I wanted, I can't like make 8 quarts worth of stock.
Yeah.
And then I have nowhere to put it. I have nowhere in the like it would fit in the.
Is that the red lid?
These come in like they're coming in with yeah, I think red. Yeah.
I have one of those, and yeah, it's the same thing. I use it maybe if I'm lucky, like once a year, I'll like pull it out to use it for something like that. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
tough.
it will fit in the fridge, but like even like for fridge stuff, it's like the thing would probably go bad before you had the opportunity to consume it, unless it's like iced tea or something, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But really cool and super stoked about that. And then Sam got me 4 6-pans, metal 6-pans with lids,
Let's go.
which is really cool. Yeah, so we're doing it. We're doing it.
Let's go.
And yeah, super stoked and happy and blessed, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What else?
Give it up to
Oh yeah,
everybody that
yeah,
took care of you.
yeah. Let's give
Clap
them a
it
round
up.
of applause. And then Ronnie and I think Sam kind of double booked herself because she bought me tickets to the Andrew Santino show, and I think she didn't realize that she had already had plans for this Friday. So Ronnie and I are going to the show in Charlotte this Friday, which is amazing.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, when she hit me up about that, I was really stoked. It was it was cute because she was like, "No worries if you can. I can find somebody else." I was like, "No, hell yeah, this sounds awesome." I was like, "I'll definitely request off work for that."
When was it?
It was only like maybe 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
that she messaged me. Maybe probably roughly around.
I
there.
love Santino. That does he have a new special? I know that he has that cheeseburger special is like really thoughtful and well done, and
I haven't seen that
it's
one.
really good. Definitely worth the watch. And
Maybe I'll watch it before we go.
yeah,
This week.
I mean, I'm also
I won't, but it's a good thing.
well, I think I'm sure he has a new hour since that came out. I think that came out over a year ago. So
okay.
yeah, that'll be dope for sure. And then yeah, so just to kind of dive into the stuff I kind of teased about, we did cook for some people on Saturday night, and I wound up doing some kind of like throw together some Mexican.
Okay.
And I actually have a tip for the listeners later, so stay tuned for that.
Awesome.
But the main dish was I made some barbacoa, or
Nice.
I don't know. Again, like loosely traditional, probably not traditional at all. But I had some brisket again and pressure cooked that with some chipotle and adobo, some spices, some oregano, some adobo spice, some sazon, some coriander, all the things. And
What is saison? Is that just like a spice blend?
yeah, spice blend.
Yeah.
May or may not have a ton of MSG in it.
Definitely does.
It's just it just seems super popular. I don't know if that's like it's probably popularity amongst the Mexican Susie homemakers.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the culture. I mean that's where you find a lot of the
Mexican grandmas.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it turned out actually like really really well. Some beef stock for the liquid, and yeah, it was awesome. And just had some tacos. It was cool.
Great. I mean, I could eat Mexican every night of the week, honestly.
Yeah, all the time for sure.
It's one of my favorite things to to cook and to eat at home.
For sure. And it's like relatively simple. Sometimes like I think probably for you and me, like it's simple because don't mind the knife work. There can be a fair amount of knife work. I mean, I made like guacamole, I made pico de gallo, and I made salsa verde. So like
Yeah, that's a lot of knife work for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So I think that can be intimidated for a lot of like home cooks, but I I like that stuff and yeah, it's
But also like meat of your choice, cilantro, onion, and lime juice on a corn
mm-hmm,
tortilla is like so fucking good. Maybe some
yeah.
hot sauce if that's your thing.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, it's the tits.
What are you drinking over there?
Oh, I haven't cracked anything.
Me neither.
Sorry to skip the booze, dude.
I know.
I know you. I saw your hand quivering a little bit. So my bad.
Yeah, I was starting to get the shakes, and the listeners on their commute to work were also shaking, waiting, waiting to pop one.
I'm just going Classico right here. I'm drinking a Coors Banquet beer, baby.
Ooh,
Let's go. It's my
is that a
fave.
40?
It's one of those. I call them like grenade bottles, but
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else calls them that.
I can only see like the top quadrant of the bottle. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not a 40. But for a second, I thought you were holding a 40.
Let me get it out of this paper bag real quick.
I've had a few beers from this company. It's in Charlotte. You should check it out, and this one's really good too. It's a brewery called Resident Culture.
Mm.
Um, and this one is called Disco Baby.
Ooh.
It's an IPA.
Ooh.
But all their artwork is like pretty dope.
Awesome. Maybe
Yeah.
we cruise in for a Teddy Brewski on the way to the show on Friday.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Nice.
I think I've drank I don't know 3 or 4 of their beers on this pod now, and they've all been very good.
Mm.
We have a kind of a fun thing going on tomorrow night. I think it was last Friday after Friday evening. We went out and got some Mexican food. There's this Mexican place near our house that we've been enjoying going to, and I don't know how like authentic it is. It's a sit down place, but it's a lot of fun. I mean the decor in there is really fun. The atmosphere is super fun. Awesome bar, and both times we've gone, it's been slam packed, and we just try to grab some seats at the bar, which I kind of prefer anyway. A lot of time, good tequila list. I can get a couple shots of tequila and a couple beers. And the staff was great. Also, they have a chicken coop outside, and we haven't inquired about it, but it says like inquire inside about the eggs. I don't know if they have some kind of a egg program.
Oh, cool. Really?
Yeah, but there was the first time we went there, we were walking past this big chicken coop, and all these little kids were looking at the chickens, and I said, "Ooh, pollo asada," and their parents laughed.
Look at you go, dude.
But no, so we went on Friday, and we were sitting down at the bar, and there was this couple next to us, and they were speaking Spanish to each other the whole time, and we could just kind of like feel their eyes like on our food. Rochelle wasn't super hungry, so she ordered empanadas off the appetizer menu, and then towards the end of the meal, the woman next to Rochelle, she was like communicating with her in like really broken English that she could buy the empanada like flour, the like mix, like pre-made mix. Like I I guess you probably just add water to the dough or to the flour mix, make the empanada dough. And so anyway, we get to talking via Google Translate, and they're from Venezuela. They've been here for a few years now. Um, really broken English conversation, and they invited us over to learn how to make empanadas at their house.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. So we were gonna go Sunday, and then life got in the way a little bit, but we rescheduled. So tomorrow we're supposed to go to their house, and yeah, she's gonna make empanadas or maybe I'm gonna make empanadas. I don't know.
That's awesome. That's so fun. I mean, I feel like that's rare that you would like get connected with someone who like doesn't speak the same first language as you. Not
Yeah,
like I've definitely done that in like work environments where I have like I'm spending like especially going to spend like a bunch of time with this person, but rarely just running into someone at the bar like that doesn't speak the same language as you. That's tough, but that's also really cool and that's awesome.
I know.
And you're probably going to learn something and meet some cool people. And
Yeah, it was a very cool experience.
were they older than you?
Um,
Same age,
so
kids?
yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, I don't know. We were talking. They have kids. We were talking about that on the ride home, what their age was, and I was like kind of reluctant to say. I was like, I think that they look older, but I think we're probably the same age.
Mm,
You know, it's like one of those,
okay, sure.
like, we're getting to that stage in our lives where it's like, yeah, those people, they look old. You're like, what? I think that maybe we're just the same age.
Yeah, I know. It's like you always feel like you're 25, right?
I know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just delusional, but I always feel like I'm younger than most of the people I'm around, um, when in fact I'm often older than them
Interesting.
at this point in my life.
Yeah. Do you think it's like? I mean, so I think we beat ourselves down like in the kitchen a little bit, like, and we would say like, oh, we probably like put our bodies through it, but also like I don't know. It's we were also like on our feet all the time, and like also like in the mountains and snowboarding and like all that stuff. And I think that stuff keeps you like pretty young, you know. And
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
so yeah, I think like I think I've had experiences around here where like I was like, oh yeah, I'm in my mid 30s, and they're like, oh, I thought you were in your late 20s, you know. And um,
I get that a lot too. That's probably because I
yeah,
can't grow any facial hair.
looks good though. I
I,
mean, that's what it's all about, dude. That baby smooth skin, dude. I like that.
I appreciate the support.
Love that for you.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Cool. That's awesome. So did you cook anything else this week
Yeah, dude. Yesterday,
or over the past weekend?
yeah, dude, my schedule's been all over the place, and I haven't had a whole lot of time off recently. But yesterday was my day off, and the weather was good, so I was able to break out the yakitori grill, the Conroe grill, and so I went out and I bought a nice whole chicken, a good like organic, nice bird, not like a big juicy fucking. I don't know, dude. Some of the chickens in the grocery store can be pretty gnarly. When the bag is like full of juice. It's all like it's the like saline solution that they pump them up with, you know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like it was one of those smart chickens. Have you ever gotten any of those? The skin is like nice on them. It's like firm. It's like sometimes you get like shitty chicken and it's like just like soggy and kind of gross.
Yeah.
But anyway, the brand is Smart Chicken, and that's just what they had at the grocery store. But yeah, broke down a whole bird, and yeah, just had a lot of fun making a bunch of different yakitori skewers.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I did see pictures or video of it. It looked great. Um how was the remind me again the name of the dip?
The tare, yeah, it was a lot to. Next time I decide to have a yakitori night, it'll be easier because I've made the tare now. Um, but yeah, butchered. Well, because I get the grill going, and like I was talking about, the coals take quite a while to really ignite, and be like fully, I don't know, fully and on fire, for lack of better terms. I don't know, fully engulfed. I don't know what it takes a while to get the coals turned on.
Sure.
and and so yeah, it was the Bichotan charcoal. And so once I got that going, I was butchering the chicken, got it all broken down, and then I threw the bones onto the grill, and then also a bunch of like leek greens and scallion greens and stuff. Threw all that on the grill, and got that simmering in it was mirin and sake, and let that simmer for a while, probably like reduced to like half. Had a whole bunch of sugar, soy, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. And then you just kind of let that simmer for a while. It takes a couple hours, but with that charcoal, it from the time that I got it ignited to the time that I actually got the skewers on the grill, I mean it, and like put by the time I took the last skewer off, it was like 5.5, 6 hours later, and I was still hot enough to cook and char up and do exactly what I needed it to do. So it was pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. And then you were saying that like you could even like potentially like cool them and reuse them. Is that like still available to you?
I pretty much used up its entire life, but because it was so long, like if I, got them lit and then just wanted to grill a steak or something, absolutely. I mean, snuff them out. You can even like submerge them in water to snuff them out and pull it out of the water and just let them dry, and then you can reignite them again later once they're dry.
That's cool. I love when you talk about snuffing.
Snuff, and then like a snorting tobacco
Oh, you do
snuff.
like little power bumps of it. I thought like mobsters talk about.
You do like bumps, like tobacco bumps.
Yeah, I think that is true. I thought mobsters when they snuffed people, that was, you know, sleeping with the fishies.
Yes, snuff them out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
Sounds like something a dog would do too. Anyway,
Anyway, we're good.
great word, great vocab.
Yeah,
We'll add that to the fact check maybe.
it was good. But yeah, yeah, now that I've got it set up, yeah, we'll have to figure out a date when you guys can come over, and yeah, we'll do a yakitori party. Maybe I'll invite our new Venezuelan friends.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Um, what's the next thing you want to do on there? Do you just anything, right? I mean, it's you want to do some
Yeah, I mean,
skirt or
I
something?
just want to get better at what's that?
What's the popular like beef option for that? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot, but you do like
Yeah, man,
little
it's
skirt.
probably like the like A5 Wagyu, like
Yeah, that's the only shit I fuck with.
far as like as far as like popularity goes. I mean, I think that's like, or at least more like, I don't know, iconic. I don't know if that's the right word. I did send you a while back. There was that Snake River Farms Wagyu.
I remember.
Yeah,
Looked fire, like super marbled.
yeah, super marbled, like nicely sliced. It's like pre-sliced, and it's all fanned out on this like really nice tray. They sell it at H Mart, and when you guys come over, I definitely want to get that. I probably won't skewer that. Probably just like grill those, quickly.
That was my next question because it has there's that flat grate, right? It's like
There is a grate, yeah.
so that's what you would do that on, right? Like open, like almost like
Mm-hmm.
a KBBQ kind of vibe.
Yep. Yep. Would you? Yeah. Did you see in the photos or the video that like rice ball that I grilled?
Ooh, I don't remember.
It's it's called onigiri, and it's like you like hand form this like rice ball, and it's just like sushi rice. Actually, I don't know if I should say sushi rice, but anyway, like
Sticky.
I used like sushi rice, like sticky rice, and you toss it with some mirin, salt, and then we did scallions. Um, yeah, nigiri means scallion or like green onion. So onigiri, I don't know if I have no,
Nigiri does? Huh.
or no, that's wrong. It's negi. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the grilled rice ball thing is called onigiri, and you like hand form them, and then you can actually like grill the rice, and then it like stays together, and like you can pick it up with your hand and eat it. Um, it's fucking
I
awesome
like that.
because the outside is like the rice gets nice and like toasted and crispy and like kind of smoky from the grill, and then the inside is like super soft and delicious, and then it's got all that like scallion flavor. Took some like Kewpie mayo and a little bit of soy and a little bit of sriracha, and had a little dipping sauce for it. Super good.
That's awesome. What's the verdict on sriracha? I mean, I love sriracha so much. Seems like I've heard different things, like, oh, it's like an American thing that they just put like um, fake characters on the back of the bottle. I've also like at one time thought it was a brand, but now I've seen a ton of different companies making sriracha or what they call sriracha. Um, is it from Asia at all? I mean, I know we see it in a lot of like Asian American restaurants, but I guess I
I
don't.
think it's made in
That's what
California.
I thought too. Especially
Yeah.
like the regular old bottle, the one that I think most people know. But I know, like, yeah, like I said, a bunch of companies make that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if it's like the company in California like kind of brought sriracha here and like they made their own and that's what became popular in the US, or I honestly have no idea. But what I do know is it's delicious.
Mm.
So just gonna keep on eating it. Stop asking questions.
You can't hear it right now, but I'm rubbing my tummy real good right now.
I can hear it.
Okay, as long as you can hear it. Might be a little graphic for the audience. Um, cool. That's awesome. That sounds super fun, and I'm glad you're enjoying your new toy.
Yeah, yeah,
New toys are fun.
they are.
Hell yeah.
Could we lead this yakitori party into our show topic that we've tried to lean the conversation here a couple times now.
Okay.
A couple different episodes.
Okay.
Gone off the rails.
That's okay.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about hosting people at your house, cooking for friends and family. We've said a few different times that, you know, cooking for our loved ones is our love language, and it's our favorite way to express love for people we love. We love love,
We love love.
and yeah, chat about it.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome topic. Um, I mean, we've done it a bunch. I think, like, I mean, everyone does it a bunch, whether you're into cooking or not. I think, like, there's many people that do it all the time. I think we have, not unique, but I think we're able to either do things easier than some other people do it or do some more elevated stuff just because we've cooked for a bunch of people so many times, right? Like, I mean, how many 100+ person banquets have you done in your career, Ronnie? Like,
Yeah,
dozens,
enough.
hundreds, probably. Um, so yeah, I think we can talk a little bit about like what makes something easier, what makes something like. There's plenty of stuff that like I love cooking that I like stay far away from when it comes to like cooking for 8 to 10 people or more than that, right? And it's just because of there's a lot of things that you can do that are um impressive but not hard, and those are the things that you should choose when you're cooking for a lot of people, like, right?
Yeah,
There's certain things that like or certain events that like pretty much like where you're going to go with it, like for the most part on Thanksgiving everyone's going to cook turkey. um that's not always the case, but like what things like can you do there, but otherwise like if it's just like kind of a random get together, like, yeah, I mean, what are some of your go-tos when if you had I don't know, 8 people to cook for, and yeah, and they were coming over at 4 p.m. Like, what kind of things would you gravitate towards?
yeah. I mean, it all depends on like what 8 people are coming over. You know, if it's like the homies, then yeah, like a fucking taco party is a great way to feed a lot of people. Like, especially like we've talked about like the Instapot a lot. You could do that, or like a slow cooker, or braise meat. You know, and then like because at that point, all you're really having to do is like warm up tortillas, and then like whatever kind of like salsas or condiments or whatever it is that you like to put out. Like you can do that super easy. Um, but I think like the biggest thing is like not biting off more than you can chew, and like just like thinking through the full spectrum of like how much time you have, how much time like people are going to be at the house for. Like, I mean, I've definitely made the mistake of shooting, you know, aiming too high, and then not that it like food came out poorly or whatever, but ultimately it was like either like I was exhausted, which like I mean, as a cook, like it's kind of what we do, right? Like prep all day, cook all night, and then at the end you're exhausted and everyone else is happy, and it's like, so that's a win.
That's a win. That's a win. Also, I mean, that's not everyone's idea of a good time,
No,
right? Like, there's
exactly.
plenty of people that are wanting to cook for a bunch of people that like aren't going to enjoy that same experience, and like I think yeah, you can easily like stress yourself out. Um you can easily like work through a party and realize that like you barely like talk to anyone because you're so busy, you know?
Yeah.
It's honestly like full disclosure, it's one of the things that I love like most about like hosting is the fact that I can like when my tank of like human interaction gets filled up, I can like run to the kitchen to go like continue prepping a little bit.
Yep.
Um, but like, I mean, you definitely want to strike the balance. And yeah, and for people who aren't the like diehards or don't want to like make 3 extra sauces for a thing that like clearly doesn't need it,
Yep.
um, you don't have to do that. Um, well, I mean, yeah, let's talk about both, right? Let's talk about what's like your easiest go to if you had, let's say you had like limited time to prep and a decent amount of people over. What do you think you would go for or grab? And also like, and before we get fully into it, I think like price is a fair place to like look at this stuff too, right? You don't want to like,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting fillets for everyone, you're going to be like spending a bunch of money. If you're going to get lobsters for everyone, like you're probably going to spend a bunch of money. It's not saying that you should never do that, but like, um, it's not always everyone's go-to. And definitely like, even for us, like I think even like the better you get at cooking, the more I gravitate towards using um, less expensive ingredients, but like getting something really good out of it.
Definitely. Um, if I had to cook for 13 people, um, dude, I'm still going Mexican. I mean, you could feed, no joke, you could feed 13 plus people with a pork butt, or like, yeah, a pork butt. Costco sells like the 2 packs of pork butts. Um, Pork butt in an Instapot, pack of tortillas, fucking 2 or 3 onions, and like a bunch or two of cilantro, and a couple limes, beer, and a bottle of tequila.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're under $50, and everybody is super happy.
Yeah, it's dope. It's really dope.
And it would take you less than an hour to prepare and feed everybody.
I'm hedging my bet a little bit just because like that's is that assuming like are you gonna do some knife work for that too?
No, I'm gonna dice two
You're gonna
onions.
dice onions.
I'm gonna chop the cilantro. I'm gonna like quickly cube up the pork butt,
Okay.
season it, throw sear it, throw it in the Instant Pot. 1 hour time. You got
Super good.
13 happy people.
Yeah, for sure. Get a little can of Chipotle, throw it in there or something. Little peppers,
Yeah, can of
whatever, or
Chipotle, have
whatever.
your
Literally
beer,
whatever you have. Yeah.
squeeze the lime into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good
really,
time.
really easy.
That's a good time. Yeah, like any like large meat that can fit into something.
And if you wanted to make a side, you could, while that's going, you could make some Spanish rice in a pan, or in a pot.
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure.
Super easy.
Um,
And you'd probably still be under that $50 price range.
sure. I was I was thinking the same thing, like, just since you said pork butt, like literally like any large piece of meat that you could put into a single pot together,
Yeah.
like all at once, is like really good. That also includes like kind of done the same stuff with chicken, right? You get a bunch of chicken thighs and braise them or crock pot them or Instapot them or braise them in the oven. I mean, chicken goes really quick actually. So that's really good. Um,
And also, if you don't have an Instapot or even a crock pot, you can fucking do exactly this. Just put it in, a covered pan in the oven with, whatever braising liquid you want and let it go for a few hours. It's going to take more time, but for it, it's like the same amount of effort
sure,
to feed
sure,
all those people.
sure. Yeah, like I kind of said earlier, like I've done like a fair amount of Thanksgivings up until this point, and I think that there's a lot that can be like really intimidating for people. Um, I think like I don't know. I don't know that it's as hard as it's billed as. Um, I always brine it, right? I mean, we've talked about brine on this pod before, but like if you, I mean, it literally takes like 15 minutes to throw together a brine, and you put that turkey in there overnight, brine that up, and that makes it very difficult to like come out of it with dry overcooked turkey. Um, and then you throw it in the oven for however long. And I also everyone overcooks that shit.
Everyone.
They like
This year, I think I'm going to smoke. I'm just going to buy turkey breasts and I'm going to smoke them. I think that's the way to go.
everyone like I always remember my dad or my grandma. They were like they had times. It was always times. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this throw it in there for 20 minutes a pound. Such an odd way to cook something, honestly. I just
Not good.
I think
Not a good way to do
yeah.
things.
I mean like I think as a professional cook, like you definitely like get your timing down. That is not the case when not for me when you're talking about like a big old thing, right? Like you're
But also in the kitchen, like how many times have you heard someone ask, "Chef, how long do I cook this for?" And the answer goes, "Until it's done."
yeah.
And it doesn't matter what it is. Be French fries. How long do I fry them for? I don't until they look like French
Yeah.
fries.
Yeah, for sure.
You've eaten French fries. Wait until it looks like those things, and then eat them, and then pull them out, and they're done.
Yeah. It's funny because I truly don't know how long a lot of things take. Like, I do have an idea of like when the thing should go in. I'm not like bad at
Yeah,
timing the thing. Um, but the difference between 4 to 7 minutes for most things that you're cooking is massive. But like, I'm not going to be able to tell you. Like, I have more of a mental clock than I do like an actual, like, I could tell you the exact time, right?
that's true.
Yeah,
I always set a timer,
me too.
um, as you should.
That's a pro tip.
Dude,
That's just such a
dude,
pro tip.
fucking use a timer.
There's like, I think when you're a young cook, definitely like a young cook in a restaurant, um, I don't know if it's like it's ego and like I don't know if people around you are telling you like you don't have to do that or whatever, or you should just be so good that like you don't have to set a timer for like the bacon. Set the timer for the bacon
Yeah,
because if you don't, when you don't,
everyone burns bacon.
everyone burns the bacon. It's it's the number one burnt thing in America.
But even though I always set a timer, I mean, I have like that mental clock. I set a 15-minute timer. Fucking 14 minutes and 58 seconds. I'm like, what time is it? And I pull out my phone, and it's like my alarm is going off as I pull it out. You know, um, yeah. Fucking set your timers.
Mm-hmm.
Pro tip. When we're talking about like, don't bite off more than you can chew. Like just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. And the first time, I'm pretty sure it was the first time I ever hosted friends for Thanksgiving, and I was really excited to cook for everybody. In the end, everybody was super happy. Everything came out great. The food was delicious. I was fucking exhausted. I had the idea that everyone was going to come over. I was going to start the day by fucking doing brunch for everybody,
Oh,
and I made eggs Benedict
oh boy.
for the whole house, the whole party.
This is like your like Tahoe house or something with like
Yeah, it was in Alpine Meadows.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fucking my buddy Alex, who was like,
Bunch of stoners.
yeah, he was supposed to like help me. He was fucking blacked out by 9 a.m. on mimosas or Bloody Marys or whatever we were drinking.
I love that. I
And
love
then it
that.
was just me. But I mean, yeah, I don't know why I decided I was like fucking made eggs Benedict from scratch for 9 people in the house, and then prepared an entire Thanksgiving meal after that all day. So I cooked from probably 8 a.m. or earlier till whenever dinner came out, 7 o'clock at night. And that was like, you also have to feed people throughout the day. So I know that I made like some snacks, charcuterie board, fucking bacon wrapped dates, or whatever else
Sure.
I was putting out.
Right. You're so fired up
Um,
then. You're like a young cook. You got all
and I
yeah.
was, and looking back on it, like I'm proud of that. It was a lot of fun. Will I ever do that again? Fuck no. I'm not doing that again. It was so much work.
Yeah. We did a turducken in Squaw. It was probably that same year
Really?
with you remember Doug, who was our sous chef at the Ark,
Yeah.
and Adam Thatcher. I lived at that house with him and Phil, and Chad and a couple other people. It was like a 6-person house, but yeah, we did a turducken and we debone. Yeah, what was it? You like debone the chicken entirely. You debone the duck entirely, and then we left. You like almost debug the turkey or debone the turkey, but you like leave the bones and the legs and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and the thighs, um, and the wings on, but like the entire center of it is deboned, and just roll that sucker up, and
I
I
mean,
mean
it's not
it takes
good,
like
right?
5 hours. I remember it being good. I think we brined all the things.
Okay.
Um, in like 22 quarts. Like this is we had like access to all this like commercial equipment, so we had like
Right. Yeah, yeah.
all that stuff, and yeah, I remember it being good. But
Because in my mind, they all cook differently, especially the duck.
yeah, the duck is the center of the thing. And there's probably a fair question around like, does the fat even really render? I remember just being fired up about the whole thing
Yeah,
though, and thinking that it was better than I
it was
thought it
good.
was going to be.
Probably
Yeah,
super
yeah, a
stoned,
little stony baloney, a little definitely drunk.
really stony
Um,
baloney.
yeah, it was awesome. But biting off more, yeah, it's a fun thing to say
I mean, it's
that
a
you've
fun thing to
done
do.
for sure. But biting off more than you can chew, certainly.
Yeah, when the first thing that I cooked on the smoker had you and Sammy over, and I decided I was going to do a brisket, which I talk about biting off more than you can chew. I probably should have like tried to smoke some chicken wings or something first and just learn how that thing even worked. But instead, I just went for like the hardest thing to make. And I don't know if it's like the hardest to make, but it certainly is along the lines of the longest possible
It's
thing.
slow and like those type of things. I feel like when you don't have such an extended period of time to do them, I feel like you can easily be like, "Oh, I think it'll be done at 5," and then all of a sudden it's 6:30, and or like, "Oh, I thought it was gonna be done at 6," and it's like 8:30, and it's not like tender yet or whatever.
Which is kind of what happened. And ultimately, it came out
Really
really
fucking
good.
good.
But I set a 3 a.m. alarm to get I was outside at 3 a.m. starting my smoker and getting that thing on. And it was the first time I'd ever fired up the smoker, so it took longer to get to temp than I thought it was going to. Way longer. Took the brisket took longer to cook than I thought it was going to. Way longer. It took, everything that I anticipated. It took substantially longer. And then I have guests in my house, i.e., you and Sam, who need to drive home that night. And it's like 7 o'clock, 7:30. It was like, okay, we just got to eat this thing, And since then, I've done more research, and people are like, yeah, you should really rest it for a minimum of 2 hours, but up to like 12 hours. People like wrap it and like put it in a cooler and leave it like you'll cook it one day and you'll eat it for like lunch or dinner the next day.
Gotcha. So you really could have done that, like you could have started it. Well, you can't.
Yeah, I should have started it the night before, really.
But kind of, but you still have to like kind of nurse it, which is
Totally.
the trouble part of it, right? It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't just auto feed and keep the fire hot. It's going to be like dropping temperature and then getting too hot, and then yeah. The smoker, I think, is not for the faint of heart.
Now, I mean, if you got like a Traeger or something, that's a different story.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can't set it and forget it. You can, but like you're not going to have a good end product. There's still things that you have to do to the meat while it's going. You have to like spritz it every 45 minutes. You have to wrap it. You need to do stuff to it. You can't just totally set it and forget it. But as far as like the temperature, yeah, you can set it and forget it, which is like the hardest part of like an old school smoker like what I have, an offset smoker where you're like, well, it's a little cold. Let's fucking open this vent a little bit more. Let's get like a little bit more wood on here. Let's get, whatever. And like it can spike and drop really fast.
The restaurants that do it, like they all do it overnight, right? I mean, like they can set it and forget it. Is that the take? I know that like I never worked there.
I know they're not forgetting it either. I mean, I've seen clips of those. They're manning like huge smokers, like big like drums.
They had a
And they've
crazy
got
one at Ten Crows in South Lake. It's right across Caddy Corner from where Azul was. And
okay.
it was, I mean, it's probably the size of the fucking office that I'm in, really. And yeah, they would like clean up their prep. All the food that they served was like smoked. I thought the night before, but then they would like get their shit going in the oven, and then they would like shut down the restaurant and bounce. And I thought they did the same thing at Moe's in Taos City too, because I knew like or do know like Eric, who owns that spot pretty well.
I mean, depending on what they're serving, like I'd imagine this brisket they served today was the brisket that they made yesterday, and they rested it overnight or whatever, and then they slice it for
You're
lunch.
right. There's different things, right? They might be putting some pork butts in there late night, but maybe the brisket is done throughout the day or something. Yeah, you're right. I don't
Right.
fully know.
Or it's like holding in like a, 100, whatever your temperature is. If you're aiming for like I think it was like one. This is gonna be wrong, but say you're aiming for like 180, then you're probably like keeping it in a 180 oven overnight to rest.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. You're saying you could just put it in a cooler and just let it like.
That's what a lot of people do. Yeah, you wrap it in that butcher's paper, and then you just put it in a cooler, like an igloo cooler or something, and that's enough to keep it. I don't know, resting. I guess.
Yeah, for sure. What's the butcher paper function other than just not letting it be exposed and dry?
I think it just like holds in the juices.
We're big on juice on this pod. We're a big juice pod.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Don't want to lose your juice.
Don't lose your juice. The juice is loose. I want to talk about we did a different super odd Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was fun.
Over at your spot in Raleigh. I want to talk about that a little bit because that's the definition of biting off more than you could chew in the best way possible.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was
I think we
awesome.
did four. You did most of it. You did what, like 4 courses. I brought like a course.
Well, you're playing everything that you did as well. You did handmade mochi ice creams.
Sammy, yeah.
Those were dope.
We did what? I mean,
Fucking
Japanese Thanksgiving. I can't even call it Japanese. It was all over Asia, for sure.
yeah, it was Asian
Go
Thanksgiving.
into do you remember the courses in order that you served?
Absolutely not. I can remember a handful of things that we made. I made pork belly bao buns that I
Made those buns.
made the buns, sous vide the pork belly, pickled the cucumbers, and marinated the mushrooms in that.
You're just trying to show off, dude. Get me
Flexing.
started on a bao bun. That's like the first thing you're having. That's going 6 to
That was
midnight real quick.
that was good. There was like gyoza or dumplings. I can't remember who made those ones. If you made those or if I made them. Don't.
I didn't make those.
Maybe I made them.
Yeah.
Um.
You made them? You crimped them and everything?
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I did that. Yeah, I did that.
Also made the why can't I think of the name? It's the fried chicken.
Oh,
Starts with a K.
Korean
Right?
fried chicken.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
Oh,
I was thinking of the Japanese fried chicken that maybe starts with a K.
Is it like karage or something like that?
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't think that's what we made. I think we made Korean fried chicken.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That was good. Oh, that tempura. We made tempura. That was super bomb.
See, there was 4 courses.
I think it was more than 4.
And then the thing that I brought was turkey ramen.
Oh yeah, we had a little bit of turkey for the pilgrims.
We had some turkey breasts. I braised and pulled these turkey breasts and made the broth out of like the turkey stock plus added some of the bonito flakes to that to make like the liquid. Ramen noodles, some corn I remember in there. Probably a couple other vegetables in there, but they're kind of being elusive to me right now. I remember the corn specifically because corn is a fun dish, and you were recently talking about miso corn. That was really bomb, and corn's the fucking shit. But especially in the context of a Thanksgiving where corn is like for everyone a popular ingredient. For Asian Thanksgiving, that was fun time.
Yeah, it was a really clever way of doing that, having the turkey, ramen, and corn. Yeah, no, it was super fun.
The reason we did that was because your pup was like anti your oven.
That's right. Yeah, so my dog, I don't know why or how it started, but as she's gotten older, she just like developed some anxiety stuff, and for whatever reason, the last place that I lived in my apartment, one day she just heard this anxiety started, and she would freak out when you would turn the oven on. And my only guess is that it was some kind of like a high pitch frequency that she could hear that we couldn't. Because I tested it. I'd be like, she'd be like dead asleep in another room. Be like, okay, let me see, turn this oven on. Almost immediately, she would be up and like, panicking. So stopped using the oven altogether. Which I've mentioned that I have a countertop quote unquote air fryer toaster oven. It's a convection toaster oven. It's big. You can fit like a whole cast iron pan inside of it. We use it more than we use our regular oven now, and that's all as a result of my dog freaking out over the large oven that we had. We're in a new place now. She doesn't give a shit about this oven. Don't know why. She just isn't bothered by it. So I don't know. Just one of those things. Life. You adjust. But yeah, that was the whole thing. Is
poor Stevie. Let's give a round of applause for Stevie real quick.
Stevie girl. We wanted to like work around the oven, so we didn't cook a turkey. which is, you're right. I forgot that was the reason why we did that. Yeah, didn't cook the turkey. Instead,
5 courses without an oven.
Yeah, instead
Solid.
Yeah, instead we just did Asian Thanksgiving, which was super fun.
That's just wonderful, Ronnie. Shall we move? Should we move on to our idiot sandwiches this week?
Yeah, let's do that. Well, I just wanted to one last thing.
Okay.
Hosting people, know your audience, the people that are coming over, before they're all there. If there's somebody there that's celiac or vegan, pescatarian, whatever, you're going to want to know what their issues are before they get to your house.
Their issues.
Yeah.
If you have an issue, here's a tissue.
Yeah.
If you are one of those people, tell the people that you're going before you go over to their house.
I shouldn't have said vegan, because if you have a friend that's vegan, you're going to know about it, because they'll tell you about it. But specifically, like allergies.
Yeah, they're going to tell you all about why you're a bad person.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is nice.
Anyway, okay, idiot sandwiches.
Idiot sandwich.
What are you? Idiot.
You stupid idiot.
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot.
Of all the idiots, you stand alone.
Why don't you kick us off, Ronnie?
Okay. Yeah, I'm the idiot in the sandwich again. Yeah, I feel like 1 in 3 idiot sandwiches, I'm my own idiot sandwich, but that's good. I mean, so this was again at Plumpjack. I had to make, I want to say it was for a banquet, and I was making a bunch of these lamb meatballs, a shitload of them, and it was like some kind of like, it was like I think it was like an appetizer. It was kind of like a lamb kefta kebab kind of like app, where it was like a small meatball and like, I don't know, fucking all the things that go with that, like a tzatziki and a little red onion and cucumber, or maybe like a little pita chip, something like that. So anyway, I started prepping everything on one day. Lamb meatballs, specifically for like Mediterranean. A lot of times they have a ton of spices in them. There's like 7 or 8 different spices. So I was gathering all the spices. End of the day rolls around. I didn't have enough time to finish it, to mixing everything. But in that spices, pretty much they were all ground, with the exception of the cloves. I was like, don't worry about it. Tomorrow, when I do this, I'll remember, just grind the cloves before I add it to the meat. I didn't remember. So instead, I added all the spices to like 15 pounds of lamb or whatever. Maybe it was 5 pounds. I don't remember what it was. A shitload of lamb, ground lamb. And I mix it all. And then whenever you make like a taster, like a meatball, you always make a taster. So pull off a little bit, throw it on the flat top. You know, you just want to check your spice level, your salt level, taste it. Well, the one that I grabbed or tasted, thankfully, contained one of the cloves. And then I realized that I had exactly 15 minus 1 that was in my mouth, cloves. So 14 cloves in like 15 pounds of lamb grind. So I then had to lay it all out on sheet trays, like a literal needle in a haystack, and press through, put gloves on my hands, and press through all the ground meat and pull out the other 14 cloves.
Oh my God. That's
Thankfully, I knew exactly how many were in there. But
you found them.
I found all of them. Yeah, it was pretty bad when you get to like 13. You're like, where the fuck is this last clove?
Yeah.
You start finding them quickly, and you're like, oh, I got him.
Yeah, but then Waldo hides off in the corner for a while.
You got like one more clove to go. Yeah, it probably took me a good like hour and a half to find all of the cloves in there. Idiot sandwich me. That's really stupid.
Congratulations, Ronnie.
Thank you. Thankfully, I ate one of them because if you don't know, cloves are very, very sharp and hard. Definitely break someone's tooth.
Oh. And just gross. I mean,
Yeah, gross.
a whole clove is very offensive.
That's why there was only 15 of them in. I think it was like 15 pounds of grind or something.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
ton.
that
Maybe
makes
10 pounds. I have no idea. I think it was 10.
That
I think it was
makes
2 5-pound bags.
That makes
Brutal.
sense. Congratulations, Ronnie.
Thank you. Wear this crown with shame.
The dunce cap. Maybe we'll get some dunce caps.
Yeah.
Um,
Mail them out.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone will get them. People will just like be surprised when they have like dunce caps on their front stoop. I'm really excited about this idiot sandwich right here.
Me too.
This is our first one that we have an audience submitted idiot sandwich. So thank you, David Phillips, for emailing us. Wrote us a really awesome email. So that he was enjoying the pod. Shout out Orange Ulster Bosies. Let's go. We both went to the same vocational school, and also both were at CIA. It seems around the same time, so that's really cool. I think he was a year probably behind me. Not sure that I don't think I know him, but
Which is crazy
but
because you
anyway.
guys probably like passed each other in the halls potentially.
Oh,
like
a million times. Yeah, we probably were at the same house parties and
same
smoked
bars.
joints together. Yeah,
It's
for sure.
crazy.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Small world. Really cool.
Yeah, really cool. Anyway, he submitted an idiot sandwich, so I'm going to read it here. David writes, "It was very early on my first year. We were learning breakfast cookery, and me and this other kid, Alex, were traying up bacon. He says to me, 'Did you know you can eat bacon raw because it's cured? The curing process makes it safe to eat.' I said, 'Yeah, right. You'll get sick. You have to cook it first.' Alec then says, 'Dude, I'm telling you, the curing makes it safe to eat. I do it all the time.' I laughed and was like, 'All right, dude, then do it if you won't get sick.' He proceeds to take 2 raw slices of bacon and stuffs them into his mouth. I'm staring at him and he's chewing, and I can tell the awful experience of trying to chew raw bacon is getting to him, but he doesn't want to spit it out to prove his point. As he's struggling, Chef comes around the corner and sees him struggling to swallow the raw bacon. Confused and shocked, he says, 'Alex, what are you doing? Spit it out.' And because of him, he had to announce to the class to please not eat raw bacon, to everyone's amusement." So, Alex, congratulations on your idiot sandwich. David, this is a gem of a story, and thanks for writing in. And yeah, let's go.
What's so funny about that is like, it's one thing to like pick up a piece of bacon and like take a bite out of it. To pick up 2 strips of bacon and stuff them entirely in your mouth, dude. If you put 2 cooked strips of bacon in your mouth, that'd be a lot to chew. The balls on this kid.
You could definitely take a bite of raw bacon, swallow it, and I'm sure you'd be fine. Don't take my advice on it, but you'd probably make it out alive.
Probably.
This is just an awful situation to be in. To get busted by Chef is an awful situation.
To go with 2 slices.
It's just so like greasy. It's like, yeah, greasy raw. Not just regular raw meat. It's just like,
dude, and you know, as you're chewing it, like your teeth aren't getting through that.
Yeah. Says he does it all the time.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. Congratulations, Alex, and thank you, David. That was awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
And now is time for the whipped cream salmon school for cooks that don't cook good. Give it up for yourselves.
Give it up for yourselves, yeah.
Why don't you start this one?
Cool. So I was dying to tell this one earlier, but wanted to save it for our segment. Because I said this past weekend I made Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of, knife work involved, or potentially could be a lot of knife work involved. And oftentimes, at least for myself, I find myself making you find yourself cutting up a lot of stuff for pico de gallo and guacamole. And the Mexican way to make pico de gallo and guacamole is you make however much you're going to make mostly pico de gallo, and then you take some avocados, you scoop out some avocados, and then you add that pico de gallo to the avocados, and then all of a sudden you have pico de gallo and guacamole. And that's my tip of the week.
It's a good tip.
Yeah. Do you do that?
I do not put tomatoes in my guacamole.
Ooh, you're anti-tomato.
I'm not anti. I just don't.
Okay.
But I would absolutely, if there was like a bowl of pico and a bowl of guacamole, I would definitely scoop some of each onto the same chip and eat them together.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I've mostly seen, we used to, because we worked at Azul and we had like two fully separate, obviously we were making massive amounts of salsa and it wasn't even, we did have a pico, but it wasn't really like a true pico. And big old batches of, 20 quarts of guacamole and shit. And we did them separately. I mean, in that context, it's probably, you're going to wind up doing them separately, but I mean, I'm talking about making 2 quarts of pico, 1 quart of scooped avocado, and then ending up with, a quart and a half of each at the end, which is really nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My tip it's about following recipes. I think a lot of new cooks or just like cooks in general, follow recipes to a T, and then they're like, well, it wasn't very good, right? And part of cooking is like tasting food as you go and identifying like this needs more salt, it needs more acid, it needs more heat, it needs whatever. And one of the biggest things that goes wrong is the salt. And that's because not all salt is created equally. When you're cooking in a kitchen or at home, you should be using kosher salt to season your food as you're cooking. Not fucking, what's that?
All the time, 100% of the time.
Yeah, not iodized table salt, not fucking Malden salt, not sea salt, not fucking Himalayan salt in the cracker. I see a lot of people like to use that because they think it's fancy or they think that like that's like premium salt. That is not what you should be like cooking with. All of those salts have purpose except for the iodized salt. I can throw that shit out the window.
I actually have a use for the iodized salt.
Yeah, for radiation poisoning.
I would use like that font, like it doesn't have to be iodized, but the cheap Martin salt for water, for
oh yeah, okay,
boiling water. Yeah,
sure, yeah, table salt, yeah, for salt, yeah, if you're like boiling pasta, salt water. All those salts have purposes. The Malden like flaky salt is awesome for finishing like a grilled steak. You slice it, put some of that on the top of the steak, or like that. Even the Himalayan salt is probably great. Also, crack some of that on the steak after it's done, or you could probably grill with that. But you don't really want to be like cooking with that like in a sauce or anything, really, in my opinion. But what I mean when I say like don't follow recipes to a T, if it says a tablespoon of salt, you don't know what kind of salt that person was using. And a few years back, when I was working in a restaurant, there was a shortage of Diamond Crystal kosher salt. That is like the industry standard kosher salt. It's my favorite salt to use. I recommend to everybody, go on Amazon, go out to the grocery store, buy Diamond Crystal kosher salt. At the time, there was a shortage of Diamond Crystal kosher salt. So we started ordering Morton's kosher salt. Everything that I was seasoning was substantially saltier than what I was, and it would normally would have been. You know, as a cook, you have a pretty good feel when you like take a pinch of salt and you throw it in. You have a pretty good understanding of like how much salt you're putting in. Well, everything I was seasoning was more salty than it normally is. Once we got the crystal salt in, the diamond crystal kosher salt back in, we weighed a cup of the Morton salt and a cup of the diamond crystal. And the Morton's was almost twice as heavy as the diamond crystal.
That's crazy.
So when it says a teaspoon or tablespoon of salt, that tablespoon is different from my tablespoon. So just, if you're going to follow everything to a T, tablespoon of cumin, tablespoon of coriander, tablespoon of whatever, follow all of that, but season the salt to taste. And that's all I have to say about that.
I like that one. Also, like, I think it's super annoying, right? Like it's not easy to get kosher salt. Am I making that up? I feel like you can't at the regular grocery store get kosher salt, which is like mind blowing to me. But yeah, like you said, like I always just order it from Amazon, which seems like it's obviously such a crucial ingredient, but you can't get like good salt to use from the store, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
But also, like, a lot of grocery stores sell fucking table salt or those like little like black and white salt and pepper shakers. Stuff's trash.
Trash.
Table salt is trash.
You're trash.
Yeah, that concludes our session of the Whipped Cream Salmon School for Cooks That Don't Cook Good. Give yourselves a round of applause.
You're now better cooks.
A little better every day.
Yeah. A step in the right direction.
I think that concludes our episode. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Let's hear more idiot sandwiches, more stories from our listeners. You can email us as David did at whippedcreamsalmon@gmail.com or reach out to us on Instagram, Whipped Cream Salmon. Just give us a follow. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, follow, like, subscribe, rate, share.
Tell your friends about us.
Smash that button. Whatever button you want. Just whatever you're going to do, just smash it.
Yeah.
Love you.
Smash. Love you. Stay creamy.
Stay creamy, y'all. Peace.